Good evening, y'all. This is a special show of the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. Um, I just want to get this off my chest, and I invited a few of the hometown supporters to come on this evening and talk with me about the the controversy that's going on today. Why Vic Beasley did not show up for OTAs. We'll get into it here in a second. Um, like I said, I got two of my hometown supporters here with me, Devontae, and I also got LaTravis. How y'all doing this evening?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. Living life as usual.
Doing well, can't complain.
Okay. Well, you ain't complaining, but there are a lot of people out there that's complaining about Vic Beasley not showing up for OTAs. Um,
Alcoholic.
yeah, Falconholic. Let's just keep it 100. Falconholic, and like it's my relationship with them has just been not good. Um, I have my takes. As fans, we all have takes. Some takes can be, right to the point. Some takes can be just, straight garbage. But for instance, I said this way before the draft about Jonah Williams being a strictly playing left tackle. Okay, and I got a tool with Aaron Freeman. Aaron Freeman does not work with the Falconholic, by the way. He has his own thing going on. I believe with Rod, was it the Rise Up Breeder or I don't know what he worked for, but anyway, I got into it with him a few months ago before the draft about Jonah Williams, and he pretty much said that Jonah Williams can move from left tackle to right tackle, and Aaron Freeman was the only one that said this. Scott said this as well, and also crucified for my take. And I said that Jonah Williams is not going to be moving from left tackle to right tackle. He's going to strictly play a left tackle when he moved from college to the pros. Okay, well, he got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals, and there was an article that came out a few days ago saying that Jonah Williams is going to stay at left tackle. And the Falcon Hall of Matt, he said something, tried to, and I'm the type of person, if you go try to kill me and slander me for no reason, when everything come to light, I'm gonna get back at you. And so I said something to him, and I said on the lines of, I tried to tell you this months ago, and his reply was, "Oh, I need receipts. I don't need to give you no receipts, sir, and I don't need to give anybody out there receipts. Because if you subscribe to this channel and you watch our shows, you'll know what I'm talking about. But nevertheless, all the information is on there. It's on the FILA Sports Podcast Twitter page. So I don't need to do anything to validate anybody because I know what I say. And if I'm wrong, I'm the first person I'm going to tell you I'm wrong. I'm not going to cover up my lies and cover up my wrongdoing. I'm not that type of person. So, but today, let's get back to on topic because we're not gonna be here that long. But today, what happened was there was news that came out. Vic Beasley is not gonna show up for OTAs, and a lot of fans went in on Vic Beasley. Um, I'm gonna start with you, Travis. What's your take on this, man?
All right, my first initial reaction is this, and I want y'all to listen to me carefully. That's my first initial reaction. But see, in all serious note, I don't know why people complaining about this man not showing the OTs. What we discussed earlier made sense. Why would you want a man who's not even? Why would he even show the OTAs? You're not even signed for a contract for the next season. So if you happen to get hurt during OTAs, we as fans and as fans, as a team and as an organization are losing out on nearly 13 million on a player that's fit to be sidelined all season. And then that hurts his future because people have teams when free agency comes about, folks have a one up on him because they look at, hey, you wasn't healthy last year. So by you not being healthy last year, you shouldn't get X, Y, and Z in money. So I mean, I don't see the big issue of the man not being in OTAs. I mean, if I mean, as much as I enjoyed seeing Sanu out there hauling in passes in slow motion, I don't want him at OTAs because I don't need nothing to derail our chances of going to a Super Bowl this season.
All right, that's a great point. Devontae,
Yeah, well, to answer that, let me read the definition of voluntary. I got it up on my laptop right quick.
well, you about to do what I'm about to do. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead, man.
It is an adjective meaning done, given, or acting of one's own will. I don't care if alcoholic watching. Let me read the synonyms right quick. Optional, discretion, at one's discretion, non-mandatory, not required, open to choice, up to the individual. Good God, it means Vic Beasley does not have to go. He does not have to go. He is not required. Why are we getting upset about this? He does not have to be there. There's nothing in the contract that says Vic Beasley needs to show up at LTAs. There's nothing he's going to learn in 3 days that's going to make him into John Abraham. We need to chill out and wait till minicamp and take our takes there and focus on who actually is at OTAs and stop complaining about who isn't, because we already know Grady Jarrett's not there because of the contract. Julio Jones is not there because of the contract. He's also rehabbing. Deion Jones isn't there, but we're not complaining about them. And to say people, oh, well, they're consistent players, they don't really need to be there, but they still not there. So if we complain about Vic Beasley, let's complain about everybody. Let's pull it to the whole unit. You want to talk about one person, you got to talk about the whole unit. The whole unit does not run off one player.
Keep that same energy for everybody. I agree with you.
I,
It look,
I, I'm a, I, I'm having a hard time what he did because what he did he gave out everything except for sounding it out since he want to go that far.
yeah, exactly. Guys, it's voluntarily. All right, it's just like saying we all grown, we all have jobs, and we have me. You know, in jobs you have meetings. Some meetings are mandatory, and some meetings are voluntary. Do you think for a second if my boss says we have a meeting and it's voluntary? Do you really think I'm about to show up?
No.
No, I'm not. It's voluntary. So at, in the NFL, you know, there's things they do. They have to be there. It's mandatory, and there's things that they have voluntary OTAs. And most of the time, voluntary OTA. You are gonna see a lot of rookies. You are gonna see a lot of new players who just got signed new contracts for the team, and you are gonna probably see your veterans out there. But most you're not gonna see Julio Jones or now Deion Jones. They're not gonna be there, especially Deion Jones. Like the dude just got injured last year. Like he's not about to risk this, and then he's about to be at a contract year. Same thing with Vic Beasley. Like he's not going to jeopardize all that. All right, but Pat, he just joined us. Pat, what's your take, man? We just started the show. We're pretty much talking about these fans, tripping over Vic Beasley not showing up OTAs.
Oh man, it's here's the thing, man. As fans, fans are emotional creatures, man. When you win, everybody's happy. When you lose, life sucks, man. And the thing is, the issue that I have is, man, it's a lot of folks that are criticizing Beasley are content creators, meaning that they are creating content that a lot of fans that might not know the game or know the sport as much as a lot of us understand it. They are trying to educate these guys on what's going on, and they're sending a false narrative that Vic Beasley did something wrong. Here's the facts. All right, the last CBA, the last collective bargaining agreement between the league and the NFL Players Association agreed upon the terms that govern things like OTA, minicamp, how long you can practice, how many hours you can practice, and things of that nature. Vic Beasley Jr. has broken no rules, no laws, and he is doing everything within his right as a player. And fans have a problem with that because they're not looking at it from a business standpoint. I've not seen one person on Twitter ask the question, logical question, what is Vic Beasley's agent telling him right now? Because let me just ask you a question, right? If you had a client and your client was only signed for 1 year, even if that 1 year was fully guaranteed, and he knows that he's gonna go somewhere or stay with the team and get a pretty decent pay raise. If something was voluntary to where you know your client could potentially get injured, would you allow your client to go to that event? Probably not. Probably not. That's just a business standpoint because the agent is gonna make money off of Beasley making money. That's how it works. So why would the agent tell his client to go to something that could potentially get him hurt when he doesn't have long-term stability in terms of his future? That's the reason why a lot of guys are not showing up for voluntary workouts. And you notice the guys that are there are guys that are under contract for next year, guys that are not dealing with any type of contract dispute. Everybody else that has that security blanket, they're at OTA. And that's what folks aren't realizing is this is a business, man. Beasley is doing the same thing that hundreds of other guys before him have done. He's not going to show up to risk an injury at a voluntary practice when he doesn't have financial security past 2019. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is America. You know, everybody wants, you know, guys to do stuff to make them happy. But America is a capitalism economy. It's all about making as much money as you humanly possibly can. So this man's not going to risk his 2020 and beyond future for the sake of going out there practicing to please fans, especially when it is within his legal right, according to the CBA, to do so.
I agree. And guys, CBA is coming up soon. I said this earlier to Pat, Devontae, and Matt, Mike, and LaTravis. All this voluntary workouts, OTAs, and probably minicap, this stuff about to go away. It's a potential it's going to end up going away because the NFL has lost a lot of money with star players getting hurt in voluntary workouts in training camp. All right, like look what happened a couple of seasons ago. Odell Beckham got hurt. Like, you know, when you lose players like that, you know, throughout the whole season, your team you're losing money. So
I mean, I could add to that, you know, like, I mean, because I'm not a New England fan, but, you know, Edelman got hurt during training camp 1 year. Heck, Jordan Nelson got hurt during preseason, which is like, I think, like the second week of preseason, which is still kind of considered like the training camp area. So he got hurt during that time frame also. So, you know, and, you know, he was a fan favorite in Green Bay. So that's a whole season that he was lost out on that a lot of fans was looking forward to seeing him in, but he wasn't playing because he tore his ACL.
yeah. And who was the guy? We said this earlier. Who said? And I know this is against the Vic Beasley thing, but they said cut Duke Riley, and that'll help our cap, and we can sign Gerald McCoy. Do you really think Duke Riley's peanut contract is gonna bring Jerry McCoy to Atlanta?
Oh yeah, we gonna cut $100,000 for 10 million. That's really gonna really help us sign somebody who wants 10 million right now. That's gonna really help us out.
Man, you know, again, man, you know, I don't know if people are trolling, man, or people legit think that. Listen, man, you gotta be smart. You gotta educate yourself, man, before you post nonsense on social media, dog. I counted at least 7 people that was, you know what I'm saying, on my timeline that were talking about cutting Beasley and then signing McCoy. And then I just looked at this and I just shake my head like, you cut Beasley, you in the hole 12.8 mil because it's guaranteed. So not only are you not signing Gerald McCoy because you're going to be in the negative, now you got to cut other players to get back in the positive. Come on, man. You got to think before you put stuff on social media, man.
First of all, you mentioned and said that you didn't know they were trolling or being serious. Have you not been paying attention to Falcons Twitter today?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Well, so on a scale of 1 to 10, far as Falcons fans like losing their minds. One being okay, they have a right to do this and they fine, or 10, they just really tripping. What do y'all give it? Starting with you, Travis.
You said for the scale of 1 to 10, if they
Yeah,
losing their mind and who they being serious. I mean, are they legit deserve to act the way they act?
yeah.
19.
Devontae.
Man, I'm go with 10. Man, you can't get mad at somebody for OTAs. I understand during the season and they're playing poorly. Then you got the right, have your opinion that they need to get better, they need to go. But he ain't even putting the pads on. They out there in shirts and shorts, and you over here getting mad? Come on now.
Yeah, Pat.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give it a 10, man. It's like Austin Hooper when he was interviewed on by 92.9 The Game during the Super Bowl week in February, man. He kind of went off on them and the fans by basically stating that, man, the fans, our expectations, they don't matter, man. Our opinions about the guy, our players don't matter. These players in the front office, these teams don't care about the fans, what they want to do, or what they want to see. This is a business. And this man Vic Beasley is making a business decision. I'm pretty sure he's spoken to Quinn about it. He's spoken to his agent about it. He's making a business decision to not be there. There's nothing personal. Beasley doesn't hate you. He's not trying to, sleep with anybody's wife. The man is making a business decision. But for real though, that's what it feels like if you look at it, because that's how people in their feelings like that. The man making a business decision for his future within the agreements per the CBA. And ain't nothing there's what you gonna get mad about, man?
Man, I've said this and I said this time and time again. Like we get so emotional and invested, like to the point that when fans say stuff, it really doesn't make sense. And we bring out like look, only thing that raises my blood pressure is game days. Now, training camp, all that stuff, I'm not finna lose sleep on that unless knock on wood, a player gets injured. All right, like if a player don't want to show up for something that's voluntary, like it's not that serious, you guys. You guys got to take a step back and just look at the situation he's in. Like if he goes down with the injury, guess what? That 12.5 mil, that's money we're not getting back. All right.
Yup.
We can't just say, "Oh, well, Vic Beasley down. Oh, quick, we can go on to sign somebody, and he can play at the Vic Beasley level." No, it doesn't work like that. This is not, guys. This is not Madden. Okay, you can't just a player hurt, cut him, and disable the cap rule on the video game like you do in the video game, and sign somebody in free agency and put all their sliders up so that way they can get 25 sacks in the doggone season. It doesn't work like that, you guys.
Facts. And,
I'm laughing because I know I used to do that on 04, on Madden 04. Disable the cap.
hey man, I'll tell you what, man. People should start feeling nervous during preseason games. If this man comes on the field and he's looking confused, if he's missing tackles, if he looks like he doesn't know what's going on, if he looks like he's tired, like he has a big conditioning, you should start sweating a little bit. But until such time, man, like there's no reason to be upset. I mean, these are OTAs. There's no contact. I mean, they stopped practice because Tack got into a little skirmish with Luke Stoker. Or you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna talk about that in a second.
Yeah, man. But ain't no reason to panic, man. Just give it some time.
Can I also add the fact that I'm gonna say, like, in a sense, I wouldn't really press preseason either, because that's kind of like where everybody kind of get the feel, get back into hitting each other to a degree. So like you might miss a tackle or things or certain things of that nature. Now, if you talking about we week 5 and week 6 into the season, he's still looking low. Then you have every right to just bring all pitchforks and fire sticks and go off. But just
Preseason, look, the only thing you should look in preseason to scout for is our depth good enough that we can go the distance. All right. 'Cause
exactly.
if a player goes down, those are the players who are gonna have to step up. And if you watch the preseason games and you see how those second and third string players playing, okay, that's what you're gonna end up getting.
Yep.
So I say this all the time. A lot of people say, "Well, preseason doesn't matter." Well, it doesn't, but it does, far as your second and third string players.
Trust me, half the time, like you know how they do in order. The first preseason game, like the first team play one series, second
Yeah,
preseason game they play like a half, and then the third preseason game they play like 3 quarters.
yeah,
Like I'll be
first and
ready
first.
for them to bench the first team so I can get a look at these backups. Let me see who's standing out on my screen. Let me see what this player look like. I've been high on this guy all off season. Let me see how he performs. Let me see how he performs in a regular and when he's in the game and stuff like that. Can he contribute to the team? Because I look at players that I feel like that can contribute either from the defensive standpoint, offensive standpoint, or special teams.
Yeah,
That's how I analyze the preseason games.
Yep.
yep. Hey guys, at the end of the day, we said this a couple of days ago when we was on here Sunday. Coaching matters, okay? Like, stop putting all your trust into Vic Beasley. Put it into Dan Quinn. All right? Dan Quinn knows what he needs to do. If that was the case, he would have never gave Vic Beasley a fifth year option. Okay? He know what he's trying to do. We seen Dan Quinn call up a good defense. Look at what happened in the second part of 2016. And it led us all the way to the Super Bowl. All right. Coaching matters in this league. Like Marco Emmanuel did not do a good job putting Vic Beasley in a position to be successful in 2018 and 2017.
Whew, three
So,
man pass rush.
hey,
Hey man, just that's all Manuel did, man. Just put 4 guys on the line of scrimmage and let them try to get upfield, man. There was no creativity with it. There was no disguising it, man. So it's easy for teams to pick that apart, man. You know what I'm saying?
So, wait a minute. You said four. You saw 4 people.
Oh yeah, he talking about no 3-man rushes again, Drew Brees on 3rd and long. Yeah,
I'm
you're
about to
right.
say,
You're
I'm
right.
trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what game he was watching because I saw 3 man rushes on 3rd and 25. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
man, man. All right, we got 3 people in the chat. I'm glad y'all joining us tonight. Jonathan Fosky, as usual, he said, the thing that gets me about OTAs, people act like the players not there are just sitting on their couch eating potato chips, but they're working out and training separately. Look, we said this earlier too. Like Julio Jones, I'm pretty sure back in 2017 when he was going to OTAs, I'm pretty sure he was just sitting around with some cleats on and some jogging pants and a Falcons t-shirt, just watching the rookies go at it. So when these players, especially these veterans, go to OTAs, I'm pretty sure they're not really doing that much. They're just hanging out and just giving advice to the rookies or giving advice to the people who just came on our team.
Oh, you can have the fiasco that you had last year and have him hang around a cancer the whole for most of the off season.
Mm.
And by cancer, I mean Terrell Owens. As much as I love him as a player. Like the man is legit a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah. He
So I
also
mean,
said I think I ain't saying my words right, but I'm cool with Vic not going to OTAs. I was just saying people think that Vic and everyone who skipped aren't doing anything, but they are still working, and that is true, Jonathan. They
Yep.
players have their own workouts. And here's the thing: as an NFL head coach, I'm not one, and I don't have any intentions of being one. Um, every offseason, when the offseason starts, I'm pretty sure Coach Quinn, like Pat told us earlier, he's giving a player their own plan of what they're supposed to do in the off season. He said, okay, well, you're going to do this. We need you to do this upcoming season. So you might need to lose some weight. You might need to gain some weight. You might need to work on this skill. You might need to work on that skill. And then, come back in June when we do mini camp, or you can come back during the voluntary workouts, OTAs, and we're going to see how you look then.
I'm gonna reiterate what you also said about coaching, because like you said, you put faith in, put your your emotions in Quinn, because as of right now, I feel like this is a make or break year for him, which I feel like he feels that way too. That's why he decided to make himself the defensive coordinator, and which is why we have all these offensive minded people running our offense, so he could focus solely on making his defense top tier. So me personally, I feel like Quinn gonna do wonders with the team that we have. He got the guys that he wanted. I like that it might not be who we think he should have got, but he felt like he got the guys that he wanted that could fit his scheme. So, shoot, have at it, dog. This is you.
Yeah. Then another thing onto that folks nobody talk about is, look, man, you can tell where the problem is with the team, right? Just look. I mean, just take a second and think about the roster for the whole staff, the coaching staff. Who are the only position coaches that are no longer with this team that were here last year? Think about it though. Quinn got rid of all his coordinators, all his assistants. He got rid of them. Bryant Young, the D line coach, stepped down. We hired old boy from Miami.
Trent Simpson.
We hired him from Miami. I think he was with the team beforehand. But
Yeah.
you think about this though. The O line was trash last year. And instead of getting rid of Chris Morgan, the O line coach, they kept him and got him some better players. You think about this on the defense. They didn't get rid of Beasley and Tack or Grady. Bryant Young stepped down. They didn't get rid of, True Fraud or anybody on the back end. They got rid of the guy who was calling the plays. The DB coach is still the same guy. The passing game coordinator is still the same guy from last year. Y'all think about that for a minute. That should tell you where Dan Quinn saw issues with his team. He saw where the development was coming, and he saw where the problem was at. And to me, his move suggests that Dan Quinn did not believe that Marco Emanuel could facilitate calling plays or scheming up ways to make his players successful to play to their strengths. And you saw that last year. That's why he
Because
got
we
rid
didn't
of
make
him.
any adjustments. We didn't make any adjustment in games and stuff. Halftime adjustments. We didn't make any of that stuff.
Yeah, but that's the reason why Manuel's gone. That's the reason why everybody else is still here. So to me, like I say, man, Quinn is the DC, but I also think he the D line coach, man. The guy that he hired from the University of Miami. To me, man, he just a figurehead, man. He just there in name only. Quinn is your defensive coordinator and your D line coach. And that's what Quinn has done almost his entire career.
And
You
going
brought
to
up
the offensive side of the ball too, you touch Chris Morgan, but like we said, Mike Malarkey, yes, it says tight end coach on there, but we know he's gonna be doing some O line work
Yeah. I mean,
and
just think about it
coordinating.
though. Like, I mean, for real talk, I'm pretty sure first Travis gonna say something on that, but let the real talk, think about that though. All of the position guys are still here except for the D line coach. Everybody's still here from last year, man. Chris Morgan, horrible offensive line. Matt Ryan got hit 108 times. That man didn't get fired. He's still here. They just gave us some better players. I'm
And they
telling
gave
you,
him
man.
they gave him a man with 30 year experience who know O line and who know run
Yes.
game. So
Everybody's still here. Greg Knapp's still here from last year, man. Like, just think about that.
Well, see, what I was gonna touch on was the fact that like you brought up an interesting point about about what to do next about Quinn being possibly part of the being a D line coach, because I don't know if one of you guys in our chat, or I don't know if anybody I read in an article somewhere about him being one of the better defensive line coaches. That's like his specialty. He specialized in coaching up defensive linemen. So I mean, like I said, that's why I feel like the pass rush can't possibly improve on that because this is an area that he's known for. So you can, I mean, and like you and me personally, I didn't know that we got rid of that many position coaches. This is kind of new to me. So the fact that he did do that, like you got rid of certain people and then you killed certain folks, like you said, that shows you where they feel the lack was. Because I mean, if you do the overall assessment, look like you said, look at our coordinators. You had one coordinator who was, who signed out 3-man pass rushes on third and long, and then you had another coordinator. You didn't know whether he was drinking some wine one Sunday or moonshine another Sunday. I mean, trust me, you laughing, but you knew good what. Give you a great example. Redskins game, he was drinking wine.
He was drinking
Cow.
Gatorade in that game.
Okay, okay. So what you call the Cowboys game?
And he was on that Crown Royal right there, man. Had it, man. He was on something.
What was Green Bay game?
Man, but the Mad Dog.
Oh man.
he and Jake.
He wasn't drinking no alcohol. He was drinking some liquor.
That's the point I was saying. So, like you said, we got rid of those coordinators because, like, and also what Pat was saying, no halftime adjustments. Like, oh my goodness, we went into halftime doing one thing, and came into halftime doing the exact same thing. Everybody made adjustments except for our team. And what really stood out to me is when we played Baltimore, and I watched Terrell Suggs in the interview said, if I don't know if it was Suggs or Eric Weddle, but one of them said if you beat the Falcons on first and second down, you can get them off the field on third down. And I'm talking about it really resonated with our season. It was he said it was just basically what he said. If you beat that on the first and second down, you good the rest of the way. You can get them off the field on third. And that's exactly how people played us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But hey, I'm just guys. And I'm talking to the fans right now. You guys got to chill out. All right, it's not even June yet. All right, let's see what's going to end up happening. When we do mini camp and when July come around. All right, look, Dan Quinn, he has a plan, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna do better than what we did last year. I'm not gonna sit up here and say 16-0 or 19-0 Super Bowl. I'm not gonna say all that. You got to have realistic expectations. I'm not gonna have some, we're gonna go 19-0, go Super Bowl and all this. Yes, as a fan, yes, you always everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, and guess what? There's 31 other teams out there who want it as well. So, like, guys, you guys gotta be understanding, and I understand a lot of people subscribe to the Falcon Holic and all these other places and stuff too, but read other sources. Read other sources and do your own research. There's the stats are out there for you guys to read. Patman, the real Patman, that's on here right now. He pretty much put this stuff on his page for free. So y'all do sit there and read it.
Yeah,
I
man.
found dude to follow because I need to get more information from stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. We just put that stuff out there, man, because I mean, I like to try to offer a different perspective to folks, man. I don't like going into things, Brian, and with just full of emotion, man, because that clouds your judgment sometimes. Because I feel like there's a reason why everything happens, and I feel like there's a logic behind it. So that's what I try to find, to come up to what I feel like the team wants to do.
Exactly. All right. Let me look in the chat one last time before we end the show. Daryl More good for you joining us tonight. He said, I think Crawford will see more time at the strong side defensive end position this year. I think he's very underrated. He took some snaps at the strong side defensive end last year, but the problem we saw when we watched film, he did not do good against the run. So as a strong side defensive end person, you got to be like a balanced person. You got to stop the run, and you also got to be able to get to the quarterback. So hopefully he can do better at that this year. But I'm really thinking that if Quinn get John Cominsky up to speed real quick, that's gonna be our strong side defensive end.
Yeah, I'm about to say that, man. I think that's Kaminsky's. I think that's his role gonna be 100%, man. I think Crawford at this stage in his game, man, he should be almost purely a nickel sub package D tackle for us, man. I
Yeah,
mean, put him. You can play him at end from time to time, but he really needs to just be an inside guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. All right.
Somebody brought up, somebody did somewhere to compare both Kaminsky's and Crawford, like combines, and like everything. I'm talking about literally everything. Kaminsky pretty much at his career compared to Crawford started his career. Kaminsky is bigger and weight wise, faster, stronger, and longer than Crawford is. So I mean, I definitely see him seeing a lot of playing time this upcoming season, especially later on down the road when they get late in the year.
Yeah. All right. And Jonathan, he said that Green Bay game, I think he was passed out in the booth. He talking about, oh, sorry. Probably was. Probably was. And that was the same game that the night before Atlanta United won the MLS Cup, and we saw Arthur Blank in the booth looking upset, and I'm pretty sure he was, he thinking that, man, y'all messing up my buzz right now. I done celebrating the night before, and I'm coming here to watch all this. I'm pretty sure he went to the next booth over there with Sark was in and slapped the mess out of him.
Just looking at him like, what you doing, bro? Like, what?
Man, Uncle Artie would look disgusted that game, man.
Man, he was
Now, you
like
can
that
tell
all
he didn't want to be
season,
there.
man.
You could tell he did not want to be in Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
I had
Dog,
to get on the
dog,
plane. Had to
you
get on
had
the
a
plane
night
to
of
fly.
partying. You had a night of partying of winning a championship for in soccer for you to go up there and look at that travesty that you had Sunday. Yeah, I won't want to be there either.
Yeah. Hernan Garcia, how you doing, man? He said, I honestly think Atlanta is going to shock the league this year. Dirk and Dan are going to do a hell of a job with their side of the ball. Hey,
Yeah, man. I think the offense will be all right, man. I said on here earlier, that if you kind of look at the way personnel have been used, man, Matt Ryan put up almost identical numbers to his 2016, but he didn't have a run game. He was all constantly under pressure, and I'm talking about this is probably one of the lowest in terms of running backs being used as receivers out of the backfield. We barely saw that in 2018, and Matt Ryan still put up those MVP numbers. So imagine this year when you give him a running game that can win with some power. You know what I'm saying? You starting to throw the ball out of the backfield like Cutter like to do it to running backs. Now you forcing the defense to have to defend the whole field. This is the thing, man. And this is why we constantly blast hard. It's not because we hate this dude. When you got Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones as your number one and number two wide receiver with Sanu as your number three wide receiver, that puts fear in DBs. Defenses are scared of those guys
Hold on,
because
how
there
Sanu
is
got
no.
demoted?
Well, I'm talking about in terms of targets.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
yeah, in terms of target. But anyway, but you get what I'm saying? Like, when you put those guys on the field, you have to defend those three guys with at least 4 or 5 guys. Period. If you go man up on them dudes, somebody's going to get cooked. You got to put extra bodies on them. So when you got that stressing you out on the back end and your linebackers have to defend running backs coming out the backfield and tight ends, as well as the threat of potentially running the football, that is dangerous, man. That is dangerous for a defense to have to worry about all of that.
yep.
Well, that do make sense. I mean, well, Julio already says when he come off the line of scrimmage, he already got 4 to 6 eyes on him, which he's not lying. We all seen it. Literally, this man got 2 to 3 bodies chasing him across the field. So I mean, he makes a very valid point on that part. I mean, we just got to learn to utilize our weapons. And to piggyback on a Matt Ryan stats, that it baffles me when folks kind of say that, even including our own fan base, that he's not a top tier talent for whatever our reason. And like you see what he's done, you see what he did this year, being hit a lot, sacked a lot, no run game. Yet your numbers was nearly identical to your MVP season, where you had a run game and things of that nature. So I do, like I do feel like that man don't get enough credit. But that's a story for another time. I
But
just wanted
here,
to put that out there.
yeah, and yeah, I'm not finna get into that. But yeah, and here's the thing: what if we would have? There was 4 games we could have won. Okay, that would have put us at what 11-5. We could have went to the playoffs. But at the same time, going to the playoffs, we know we didn't have the depth. We know our offensive line sucked, and we know Steve Sarkisian was just his play caller was trash. So we would have went into this year again, fooling ourselves just like we did in the 2018 offseason, you know, thinking that we got a team that's pretty much they're contenders to the Super Bowl. Cause that's what happened in 2018 offseason. Let's just keep it real. Just looking back at it, evaluating it. So I'm not saying I'm happy that we had a losing record, but it opened our eyes more. And also the front office, including Quinn, is saying that yeah, we need to revamp some things so that way we can like be great. Good is not good enough. Great is where you need to get to win in Lombardi.
Man, it's so funny you say that, man. I actually did a case study on Matt Ryan 4 quarter comebacks, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he normally averages about 4.5 a year, right?
Mm.
So if you look at the how 2018 played out, I think he only had one 4th quarter comeback. So if he had averaged his normal 4.5, we would have definitely been a 10-6, 11-5 team. But then at the same time, like every other year that we depend on Matt Ryan to do that, we pretty much fool's gold. You know what I'm saying?
You say he
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah, he only had one in 2018. He normally averages about 4.5.
I'm pretty sure that one was that Tampa game.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I think that was it.
I
Yeah.
mean, we could have had several more. The Saints game could have been a comeback win. The Bengals game could have been a comeback win. I mean, we've lost some games that should have been definite dubs. I mean, especially the Eagles game. This is when I pretty much knew, the writing was on the wall for Sarkisian for real. You literally ended the Eagles game the same way you lost the playoff game, and it's like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah, don't forget about the Browns.
Oh, that Browns game was just straight trash, man. Like nothing was
Yeah, I
clicking.
think
Nothing was, that game and the Steelers game. Those games, nothing went right for us at all.
I think
It
I think that Browns game pretty much sealed Marquand Manuel's fate, man. To be honest with you, because I think Campbell was the one that interviewed, and he basically said they just looked at the schedule like it's the Browns, and then you could tell there was no
Yep,
preparation for it.
yep. That was the game. That was the game.
Like I don't understand. Like as a coach, you don't supposed to have the mentality that thinking that any team just go lay down and allow you to win. Like this is not. First off, even in college and high school, they don't even do that. Like every team in the profession, these they're yes. They're the Browns, but they ain't the Browns. I'm not even gonna say the Browns like that anymore because they have a legit squad now on paper. We got to see what they can do though in the regular season. But even the team, I say the Bengals. Okay, the Bengals are the pretty much the Browns now, but those players on that team they get paid to win games. So you can't just expect them to say, "Oh well, this is just a team. We could just we ain't got to practice. We just look at this our roster and see who we playing against, and just go out there and just say, oh well, we can probably win." That doesn't work. All right. Let's go back to the chat. Darren Moore said, "Yeah, I agree. Kaminsky is going to do some work. Some work. Yeah, I agree too." He also said Austin Riley's on fire. Yeah, I seen the Braves game earlier today. Yeah, Austin Riley, he's tearing it up, man. He might be. He look like he's in the early runnings for Rookie of the Year. Um, Garcia, he also said that what is y'all exact record for the Atlanta Falcons 2019 season? And we're gonna end the show with this. Um, I'm not gonna really make predictions right now. It's too early because we don't know who's gonna get cut, who we don't know if we're gonna bring in anybody, and it's just too early right now for me to make a prediction. I know check out Mad Mike Sports on YouTube channel. He just came out with a couple of videos of his prediction for the 2019 season. So if y'all have some predictions of the 2019 season, y'all can go ahead and share them right now.
Too early for me to tell.
Okay, Devontae.
Um, Honestly, just looking at on paper, I'm gonna go with 11-5. But honestly, it is too early to tell. But as a Falcons fan, like we can shoot to the top every year. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Super Bowl or bust.
Okay, Pat.
Yeah, man. I look at it like this. It is too early to tell, man. But I mean, just looking at the schedule, Matt Ryan is the clear cut better quarterback out of at least 14 of the 16 games, depending on how high you are on Drew Brees at this point. So he's gonna be the better
All
quarterback.
16 then. All 16.
Yeah, he's gonna be the better quarterback. If the defense decides to come, man, there's no telling what they can do. But I don't want to put no expectations out like that right now.
And I'm not saying that the bad mouth Saints fans. I know like a lot of fans don't like the Saints. I called it the Atlanta Louisiana beef, but I'm saying it because Ryan has actually had played at the same level with Breeze for years. His numbers might not equate to it, but at the same time, Breeze was playing behind most of those games, so of course his numbers gonna be a little infatuated than normal. But I'm gonna also say that the fact that like last year Ryan played well all 16 games, and once really and truly people say the Cowboys game is where the decline kicked in. It really was the game against us where the decline kicked in. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot during that Thanksgiving game, which is why we lost. We really left like 21 points on the board that game.
Man,
So
that game messed up my appetite that night, man. But yeah, it's yeah, guys. This is a little too early to tell. I know some people already got their predictions out and everything, just looking at who we play and stuff. Like I said, it's a lot can change with the team from now on to preseason. So I'm gonna probably make my predictions like I'll say week 3 after week 3 of the preseason to see how we do. So um y'all want to go ahead and plug y'all information, y'all can.
you know me, LT, aka the Travis, but my Twitter handle is at wordplay underscore kid 26. So
All right, Devontae.
I'm at Cookie by Nature on all social media platforms. Go ahead and follow me. I do follow back.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, man, y'all know y'all can find me at the real Pat, man. I'm working on some stuff right now, talking about 46 Bear defense, man. So just drop by over there, man, and we could talk about it or whatnot.
All right, and y'all know I'm the Don. Y'all catch me on with the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports podcast, Twitter page, YouTube, Twitter page, Facebook page. We also have an Instagram account. Um, if y'all watching this show, please hit that subscribe button and share with your friends so that our channel can continue to grow. It's been growing by the numbers the past few weeks. If y'all have a comment, please hit us in the comment section. We will reply back to your comments as soon as we get them. And hit that like button. Um, I know my coach Mario, my co-host, he's not here tonight. He got caught up. He's fine. He'll be here Sunday. And we're gonna this Sunday we're gonna talk about some Georgia Tech football. I know some of y'all ain't here. Y'all don't like Tech, so I know that ain't gonna be the show for y'all to watch. But yeah, we're gonna be back Sunday talking about the Georgia Tech football. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. Y'all have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Y'all be easy.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
All right.